On the broadcast tonight, another survey by Ipsos Synovate has trained its cameras on the political life of Coalition for Reforms and Democracy and opposition leader Raila Odinga. Good evening from the KTN News Center. I'm Ben Kitili. KTN Prime begins now. The top stories tonight. Should Raila retire from politics? Ipsos Synovate releases results of an opinion poll on Kenya's politics. And by-elections in Kericho and Malindi to be held on March 7th. Mombasa street children now graduate to sniffing of transformer powder.
I think this is just childish, talking about refugees being recruited by what?
And Kagame rules out Rwanda's participation in any interventions in Burundi. Good evening and welcome to the program. Our sign language interpreter is William Silla. Kenyans are sharply divided on whether CORD leader Raila Odinga should hang his political boots ahead of the 2017 general election. This according to a survey by Ipsos that shows 34% of those interviewed supporting his exit from active politics compared to 35% would want his name on the ballot. However, as KTN Samugin now reports, if elections were to be held today, President Uhuru Kenyatta would garner 40% support compared to Odinga's 29%.
The survey had its spotlight on the opposition leader's future in politics, while Raila Odinga remains as the CORD principal and leading presidential contender in that outfit. 34% of those polled want the CORD leader to completely retire from politics. 35% feel the ODM party leader should contest the presidency, while 22% say he can remain active within his political party but shelve any presidential ambitions. Jubilee supporters lead the pack in opposing Raila's political forays at 56%, but this is countered by CORD's 67% approval rating that Raila remains active in politics.
Only 6% of CORD supporters think he should retire completely. 56% of Jubilee, not all, would like him to retire, but only 14% on the Jubilee side think he should contest. Does that mean they're going to vote for him? No. Not necessarily. Maybe they think he's the easiest person for Uhuru to beat.
Those opposed to Raila's candidature feel that he would lose the election, or better yet, he should give a chance to another opposition leader at 26%. 23% feel he's too old, while 20% say the CORD leader would make a bad president. Raila is on record stating that his ammunition is still fully loaded and it was not yet time for his retirement. But were elections to be held today, President Uhuru Kenyatta would beat Raila Odinga to retain the presidency. 40% would vote for Uhuru's re-election, while only 29% would vote for the CORD leader. Deputy President William Ruto is rated at 6%, while CORD co-principal Kalonzo Musyoka would receive only 4% support. Kenyans remain skeptical of their political parties. 52% of those polled feel no political party genuinely represents the interest of ordinary Kenyans, while only 32% trust political parties. Kenya's First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta, is the most trusted public officer with 47% approval rating, dwarfing political figureheads of Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and even Parliament. Samogina, KTN News.
So following President Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet reshuffle and the vetting and approval of Dan Kazungu, former member of parliament for Malindi, and Charles Katere, former senator for Kericho County, for their respective positions in Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet, the speakers of the two houses, Justin Muturi for the National Assembly and Ekwe Ethuro of the Senate, have issued writs and declared those two seats vacant, and the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has set a date for the by-election. Let's take a look at some of the faces, some of those people who have shown interest in those two particular seats, the senatorial seat in Kericho County and the Malindi parliamentary seat. In Kericho County, one person who has expressed his interest to become the next senator of Kericho is Franklin Bett. He's a former Minister of Roads and a former Member of Parliament for Bureti constituency. Another one is Nelson Koech. He vied for the Belgut parliamentary seat in 2013 and lost. Now wants to try his hand on the upper house. Magere Langat, former ODM executive director who has since joined Jubilee party, was also eyeing that Kericho senatorial seat, as is Kipsengeret Koros, a former ODM executive secretary. This senatorial battle is expected to be an acid test for the newly formed Jubilee party. Now in Malindi, the Kilifi County Women Representative Aisha Jumwa is eyeing that Malindi parliamentary seat, eyeing to become an elected member of the National Assembly, as is a former Member of Parliament for Malindi, Lucas Maitha. This particular seat has attracted many people. Some of them are yet to confirm, but the Independence Electoral and Boundaries Commission has told all those vying to become the vying for those two particular seats
The residents must also take some responsibility in maintaining cleanliness in Eastleigh.
The sellers or the businessmen here should take responsibility and keep the environment clean. It's not a matter of waiting for the government to do anything for them. We are citizens of this country or this Eastleigh, and we are supposed to be responsible.
As Eastleigh continues to grow as a commercial hub, so does the mass of garbage. This does not only leave the environment vulnerable and unpleasant, but also comes with the risk of a range of diseases. Zinzi Kibiku, KTN News.
A new wave of crime involving vandalism of Kenya power transformers has hit Mombasa, with those involved tapping a special powder which they sell to drug users. Now, the substance is used for sniffing or for mixing with other hard drugs for desired results. The vandals are also targeting ordinary Kenya Power meter boxes installed in homes as well as offices. And as KTN's coast reporter Francis Ontomo now tells us, the powder is fast becoming the new gel among drug abusers, with the Kenya Power now counting their losses.
Youth unemployment has for ages stuck out as a crisis yet to find real remedy in Kenya. A headache that has goaded many to be snared by the problem of drug and substance abuse, especially here in Mombasa. And for a long time, cocaine, heroin and marijuana have been the most abused drugs that have left many youths west away in reckless abandon. But now the pressure for real gratification is opening new grounds not witnessed before. The drug users are now targeting transformers. They empty a chemical powder found in the fuse, which they sniff to get high.
Imeshuhudiwa, watu wameona kwamba ni kweli wanatumia hiyo kitu, hiyo poda wanatumia na wanavuta na wanakuwa sasa wako sawa kivyao.
Wakivuta ama wanafanyaje?
And this is the yellowish grey powder which experts say contains magnesium oxide or aluminium oxide compounds, which when mixed with other narcotics causes hallucinations, and the powder is life-threatening in the human body. Necessity, they say, is the mother of invention. And on each passing day, the drug users keep updating their art, even as the state tightens the nuts. And this time around, they are on the transformers.
Kuna watu akitumia sasa hivi vijana anachukua na kula, ndio hiyo inatuma vibaya sana. Wanaweza kukata mapanga yani bila akili yao na roho. Hata vijana mnasukua wanasumbua sana, wali unga ni zile kitu vya wanakula. Abdallah Abdurrahman is a community policing chair for Bombolulu Kisimani area. He says time and again his residents have complained on frequent power outages and losses of fuses in the meter boxes, something that has run for some time until this discovery.
Baada ya watu wengi kulalamika kuwa wako ndani ya giza, cartridge fuses zao za stima zimeng'olewa. So tuliweza anza kuweka mitego tukishirikiana na maofisa wa polisi, na tulishika baadhi ya vijana na walikiri wanazitumia kama dawa za kulevya hizo cartridge fuses, manake ndani kuna poda. So wengine wanasema wakichanganya na zile dawa za kulevya ndio steam inapanda zaidi, wengine wanasema wakikosa dawa za kulevya wakichanganya hiyo na roster wanajisikia tu wako aire, ile lugha yao mtaani. So hii ya kuanza kuvamia fuse za transformer mimi sioni kama jambo geni, manake tayari walikuwa wamevamia hizi fuse ndogo. Sasa maybe wameona hizi fuse kubwa ndio zina steam zaidi ama zinaunga zaidi.
The Kenya Power is now projecting losses amounting to millions of shillings following this latest racket said to be rampant in Kisauni, Majengo, Nyali, Mshomoroni and Changamwe. So far, over 20 transformers have been incapacitated across Mombasa.
Na unajua transformer inasambaza moto kwa watu wengi. Kwa hiyo mtu wa Kenya Power akiwa anafanya kazi ya halali atajitambulisha na ataweza kuwaeleza kwamba ni kazi gani anayofanya. Lakini hawa vijana wakati wanakuwa challenge wanatoroka. Kwa hiyo hao ni majambazi ambao tungependa tushirikiane ili tuweze kuimarisha usambazaji wa umeme.
These are some of the pictures captured during a police raid in Old Town Mombasa last week. Tens and tens of fuses allegedly stolen from transformers publicly displayed. Some youths have since confessed being under the payroll of rogue heroin dealers who use the deadly powder to boost the quality of their stocks in market, said to be facing stiff underworld competition.
Naamini ya kuwa kila jamii, kila mtaa ikiamua hapa kwetu ni drug free zone, hatutaki, hakuna mtu ataileta. Lakini kutoshirikiana, kutokuwa na umoja ndio inafanya ile tatizo linazidi.
And for how long this will continue to waste the lives of youths in the county is something to be worried about. A coordinated police response has been launched to put a stop to the menacing trend. Francis Ontomwa, KTN News, Mombasa.
With only a few days to the December 28th peace talks in Uganda by warring political factions in Burundi, Rwanda's President Paul Kagame has rejected allegations that his country had stoked instability in Burundi and said Rwanda's troops would play no part in any intervention. KTN's Eugene Anangwe reports from Kigali.
Burundi's government, the opposition, and officials from East African member countries are expected in Uganda next week to discuss a national unity administration, the return of refugees, among other issues. In Rwanda, President Paul Kagame has rubbished allegations that Rwanda was recruiting Burundian refugees into militia groups to stoke more instability in Burundi. Kagame challenged those raising such accusations to produce the evidence.
I think this is just childish, talking about refugees being recruited or by what. We have heard those stories and we have told these people, carry out investigations and find out who is gone where and how did they go there, and let us know. And we hear just NGOs, but you can see specific ones that are always interested in creating problems for us. They are hoping they can use this. It has had a political motivation. And then they even talk about child soldiers. I haven't seen a child soldier.
The problem of Burundi, he said, was a political one, and an end to it would require Burundian leaders to accept that there is a crisis.
If you say there's no problem here, but you're having thousands of refugees going to neighboring countries, I can only say one is in denial. Or the fact that you have a problem and you don't see it, maybe that is the main problem.
President Kagame taking the opportunity to set the record straight that Rwanda was ready to take stern actions against former Burundian officials currently exiled in Rwanda if any of them tried to advance any plans that would worsen the Burundian crisis within the Rwandan soil.
Something close to being imprisoned, you know, putting them under detention to make sure that we cut off any of this stuff that may, but maybe we haven't. I don't know if we continue to see anything that, or if we saw anything that is continuing to drag us into things we don't want like that, we may have to take such action.
The African Union is expected to send about 5,000 troops on a peacekeeping mission to Burundi, but President Paul Kagame being very categorical that Rwanda will not be part of that mission.
We have no extra capacity to pass around to people who don't even want it.
Reporting for KTN News in Kigali, Rwanda, I'm Eugene Anangwe.
Welcome back, and let's take a look at what's happening in the world of business. Over the years, Turkana County was known as one of the poorest counties in Kenya, and that nothing good would come out of the barren lands. But with the discovery of oil and the huge water aquifers in the county, there has been a mad rush by both local and foreign investors to set up base in the region. Philip Keitani met with one such investor and brings us her journey of setting up one of the best accommodation facilities in the county.
In the last few years, Turkana County has slowly been rising from the ashes of neglect, pity and abject poverty, and is now claiming its place in the face of Kenya as the place to be. Turkana is indeed on the move. The county's fortunes are now turning. The region deemed as resource-rich and mass poor is shading off its tag of previously being the epicenter of cattle rustling and conflict. Discovery of oil has now turned pastoralists into property investors, and Turkana is seeing an influx of foreigners, a new crop of visitors who can pay for accommodation and sleep in guest houses. Meet Dr. Wanjiru Ndungu, who hails from Limuru in Kiambu County, and despite all the opportunities available in Kiambu and the surrounding counties, she took the leap of faith and opted to venture where many will dare not to.
When I came to Lodwar, I just saw so much opportunity. This is just a tip of what I would want to do in this county.
Having examined the potential of the area, Wanjiru has now set shop in Turkana County. She runs a high-end but pocket-friendly accommodation facility in Lodwar town. She tells me that she is out to cater for the rising number of tourists and visitors visiting the town.
It's been exciting, tough, and but I am happy to finally realize my dream.
Just a few months after opening her doors to guests, Wanjiru says business has been brisky and the guests are ready to fork out a premium for such facility.
Now we started with 14 superior or executive rooms, cottages. We have one presidential suite which comes with a lounge.
Despite the current booming business, her journey has been bumpy. Among her greatest challenges was accessing building materials. Determined and focused, she fought off the plethora of hurdles to be counted among investors that continue to change the landscape of Kenya's north. Although infrastructure and insecurity continue to dog the region, Wanjiru is optimistic that this will soon be a thing of the past as the county leadership move in to intervene.
The county government maybe is very supportive.
Wanjiru is now looking forward to expand to other areas. Philip Keitany, KTN Business.
It is a relief for Imperial Bank customers as they too will be able to celebrate Christmas with their loved ones after the Central Bank of Kenya announced it was in the final stages of ensuring the 10,000 depositors can access their money. 6,600 of the claims have since been paid according to the Central Bank. CBK Governor Dr. Patrick Njoroge says the aim was to clear and pay all claims by Christmas in order to relieve the depositors of the pain they have been suffering since the bank was shut down in November. Dr. Njoroge notes that they are comfortable that the bank will be able to process all the claims. About 10,600 claims have been cleared and validated. Some 44,500 depositors are expected to claim their money, meaning about 34,000 customers have not lodged their claims to date. According to the CBK, of the 10,600 claims so far, 500 were found to have been duplicated, an anomaly whose motive is yet to be ascertained. More will be a sigh of relief for customers who fell prey to being exposed after the bank was put under receivership for allegedly not abiding to the Banking Act. Elsewhere, over 1.5 million Kenyans are pushed into poverty due to illness-related expenses. However, Kenyans might have brighter days ahead as Safaricom, Farm Access and CarePay have developed a mobile health wallet dubbed M-Tiba. The mobile platform will allow Kenyans to save as little as 10 shillings and enable community health volunteers to enroll beneficiaries into the platform. Ashley Mazuri has more.
In Kenya, 2 out of 3 people cannot access healthcare due to lack of funds. This has further been compounded with a heavily cash-driven economy where medical outlets require patients to make cash payments on the go for a service to be offered. This is in essence is burdensome on the poor and a serious barrier to access.
People pay from their pocket. Not everyone has insurance. Not everyone can be able to save for healthcare.
In what could be a panacea of hope to millions of Kenyans is a new mobile platform that seeks to rope in consumers who are at the bottom of the pyramid to access healthcare at pocket-friendly rates. Kenyans from low-income settlements will only require 10 shillings to access quality healthcare in hospitals. The mobile health wallet dubbed M-Tiba will channel funds for health service directly to recipients, allowing effective tracking and monitoring of use of funds. How will M-Tiba work? The mobile platform will use an agent model which allows community health volunteers to enroll beneficiaries onto the mobile platform, disbursing funds directly to the people in need. The platform will not only allow donors, but financial institutions, insurance companies, and government to partner with M-Tiba to develop applications for medical payments, remittances, savings, and insurance.
Governments, by using a platform like M-Tiba, they get full transparency on what the money is being used for. They get online and real-time reports on what is the money being spent on, where is it being spent.
Kenya is the first to invest in such a platform due to the country's mass market uptake of mobile money, with CarePay and Farm Access investing 3 million shillings each so far. Currently, over 1,800 facilities, inclusive of insurance companies, have been contracted to provide services through the system, with the pilot program of 5,000 women living in low-income settlements currently underway. With the fast rising population, Kenya has been rocked with a growing disease burden emanating from communicable diseases. And this has increased pressure to set up more meaningful ventures to tackle the ever-increasing numbers. Sustainability of such programs will be critical in addressing some of the challenges that continue to ail the healthcare sector. Ashley Mazuri, KTN Business.
And in sports, Chase Bank Kenya has announced a sponsorship deal worth 3 million shillings with the rising motocross champion Tejas Hirani. Hirani impressed the rally cross world on his debut in the RX Lights Cup in September at the Barcelona F1 circuit. In March this year, the 17-year-old Speedmaster won the Formula Gulf 1000, a competition driving school that equips young drivers with the knowledge and experience required when they move up to the FIA F4 Formula Renault or Euro Formula Open. He kicked off the practice session by setting the fastest times and then grabbed pole position to start the race from the front grid. He then raised the bar for all the races by breaking the track lap record in Dubai. The 3 million boost will boost his opening campaign.
Be a world champion. We're very honored to be part of the sponsorship panel for Tejas Hirani, and we can't wait for him to be a world champion.
And I just want to say, Asante sana, I will do my best to accomplish your goals, and I'll make sure I become a world champion by the end of next year. Thank you very much.
In football, Chelsea head coach Gus Hiddink believes it is still possible for the Blues to finish in the Premier League's top 4 as he embarks on a second stint as interim manager at Stamford Bridge. His first priority, however, is to start picking up victories and push the London club up the standings. The veteran coach, however, stressed the need for his players to be committed to the cause to achieve their targets. Chelsea are in 15th place, having lost 9 of their opening 17 Premier League fixtures, 10 points behind 7th placed Watford, whom they host on Saturday at the start of the hectic Christmas schedule that also includes a clash with Manchester United. How many times do you get to see the inside of a top footballer's house? Well, Real Madrid superstar Cristiano Ronaldo gave fans an early Christmas present of sorts by showing off his house in Madrid. The single-story house is reported to have cost more than $7 million and has 7 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. Take a look.
Alright guys, coming in, this is what I live. Let's go. Coming in. I love this dog. You know why? Because it's always quiet. My room is one of the most important thing in my life. I need to rest good, so this is where I sleep. Then I spend nearly half a day, because to perform good, to be in a good level, you have to rest good. So I'm always rest good. This is my place. Yeah, you can see through. No, I'm not going to show you. I will say something bad, but it's not important. I mean, this is the living room when I watch TV, football games. The second or the third most important, it's the place where I eat, where I have my lunch, when I have my dinners, because most of the times I eat in home properly. My chefs cook unbelievable for me. This is why I look like that. This is part to take, relax with the friends, take a drink, relax, tea. And here, it's where Cristiano play football. We have the nets there, is already there. And we create here the Christmas tree, because soon gonna be the Christmas. So I wish everyone Merry Christmas, every good year, and be happy, which is for me is the most important.
And that's where we leave it on KTN Prime tonight. Many thanks for your company. I'm Ben Kitili. Good night.